The current cathedral's appearance is far different from the original red brick cathedral. In 1946, with the cathedral's centennial approaching, Bishop Edward Hoban decided that after 100 years of ministering to Cleveland from this building, a proper celebration would be a new cathedral. The last Mass was said at Old Cathedral on May 6, 1946. The Blessed Sacrament was removed and the sanctuary light extinguished. But it continued to burn in the hearts of the faithful as worship continued in a hall at nearby St. John College. It was used as the church for more than 2 years while demolition and construction went on. The changes in the cathedral on the outside were as dramatic as those on the inside. The steeple was collapsed. Debris poured out the front door. The cross and bell came to rest in the cathedral yard. For months, sunlight poured through gaping holes in the structure. In winter, so did snow, as a white blanket carpeted the interior. The remains of Cleveland's 5 bishops were removed from the original crypt, which was in the basement below the altar. When the cathedral work was complete, they were re-entombed in the current mortuary chapel next to the altar. The cathedral's wealth of ethnic craftspeople contributed greatly to the reconstruction. The new structure began to rise. Tennessee sandstones were placed against the original brick exterior. The current cathedral's walls are 36 inches thick in most places. Over months, a new bell tower took shape. Steel formed the grid that now would connect the cathedral to the rectory and diocesan offices in a single structure known as Cathedral Square. Inside, tradesmen were now busy. Wood carvers carefully plied their craft, achieving intricate detail that would be nearly impossible to match today. Stonemasons did the same as the altar began to rise. As the interior of the cathedral began to take shape, a maze of scaffolding went up. This allowed new groups of craftspeople to work. Electricians hung lights and loudspeakers. The mosaics that to this day beautify the ceiling of the cathedral were painstakingly applied piece by piece, all by hand.
That's the whole purpose of a Gothic design, is that that height, it's designed to take our eyes and our minds and our hearts to heaven. And that's what happens.
During the reconstruction, the cathedral's pipe organ was built and scaled for the cathedral by the Holtkamp Organ Company of Cleveland. It is a magnificent organ that includes 4,331 pipes in 71 ranks, distributed among 7 divisions. The organ is playable from 2 consoles, one located in the loft above the main entrance and the other behind the cathedra. The loft or gallery organ is 3 times the size of the altar or chancel organ. More than 2 years of hard work and sacrifice culminated in a week-long centennial celebration of the cathedral in September 1948. Bishop Hoban ceremonially knocked on the cathedral's new doors. They swung open as he entered to bless the interior. He read a letter from Pope Pius XII congratulating the cathedral community on its magnificent accomplishment.
On this day which the Lord has made, we rejoice with you and with the members of your beloved flock, and we earnestly pray that God may ever prosper the faith and labor and charity of the Church in Cleveland.
Bishop Hoban wrote later that the rededicated cathedral now stood as a tribute to the faith and love we inherit and as a pledge of sacrifice and loyalty to God for the future years as they unfold.
Given at the Vatican on the 22nd day of April in the year of our Lord, 1948, and in the 10th year of our pontificate. Pope Pius XII, Supreme Pontiff.
During the centennial celebration, masses were celebrated by bishops from throughout the Midwest. Special liturgies were offered for the women of the diocese, the men of the diocese, and the children of the diocese. choir concerts were tailored to each celebration. Mandates of the Second Vatican Council meant many liturgical changes and physical changes to the cathedral. In 1977, Bishop James Hickey began another renovation. The cathedral sanctuary was redesigned. The main altar was moved to its current location. An historic note, the present altar sits at the same spot the altar of the original Church of the Nativity stood in 1848 during construction of the cathedral. One thing remained missing from the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist after the reconstruction: cathedral bells. The bell tower had been rebuilt and relocated in 1948 from the East 9th Street entrance of the original church to the superior side of the building, but it did not contain real bells. The silence was addressed in 1988 with decisive action from Bishop Anthony Pilla. The cathedral would ring out downtown. He called on the faithful to attend a cathedral ball to buy real bells for the empty tower. The event was a rousing success. Proceeds allowed the purchase of 6 bells from $375 to £3,300. In perfect octaves, they announced Christ's presence daily to the tens of thousands of people working downtown. At the same time, they welcome all to worship.
This evening we're going to begin our worship with the blessing of the manger scene. And right after the blessing of the manger scene, we'll have the ringing for the first time of our new cathedral bells to symbolically announce and proclaim the birth of Christ.
The bells rang for the first time on Christmas Eve of 1988 and have become a warming part of downtown Cleveland. Today, the cathedral stands in the middle of vibrant entertainment, theater, and professional sports venues, as well as a thriving commercial district. It is the setting for services ranging from multi-faith observations to sacred Catholic ordinations. It has grown into a vibrant and growing parish community, serving over 1,100 members.